Hello and welcome back everyone, we're of course back, and today, as you can see, we're back on Hypixel Skyblock. Now, today's episode is all about how to progress from, nothing at all, an iron sword. I know this is a hunting knife, but don't mind that, and no gear really, up to having dragon gear and aspect of dragons, flower truth, all this good stuff. Now, last episode we got the money to do all this. The episode before that, we got the levels. So, it's only right that today, we get the gear. Anyway, the big thing is that, you're gonna need a lot of money. Not overly much, this is of course progression, we're not going to be starting at, like, Necron armor or anything. But you are gonna be wanting to, continue bazaar flipping as you learned last episode. And once again, I am going to be doing an updated version of last episode eventually. It's not like a big rush, but I am going to be doing an updated version is all I mean. Same thing with the leveling version. I'm gonna basically take this in stages of, beginner, mid, all that. And it'll kinda progress as I progress. Anyway, the first thing you're gonna wanna do, as I said in the leveling video, you're gonna have nothing. Now, your best step really is to, of course, go over here, go to the weaponsmith, and get an undead sword. And once you can, get a set of iron armor. Now, this stuff will not do you great, but it will do you, okay enough. Now, once you can, you're going to want to collect all the wheat that you can, and you're going to want to get, not the wheat minion, I mean, you should get that, but not what I mean. The farm suit, which is really pretty good, not anything too amazing, but it will definitely carry you for a good little bit. Now, over time, you're going to want to choose from either basically that, or the mushroom suit, which is right here. This stuff will give you amazing, oops, I did not mean to get out of that, amazing benefits at the nighttime, or in nighttime, or during nighttime. My brain did not work for some reason. But yeah, during nighttime you'll get amazing benefits. The armor's stats will be literally tripled. Now, that doesn't mean the armor's inherently good, it's definitely more health-based than defense-based. So it's basically, whichever you prefer between farm or the mushroom stuff, because the other early game options like cactus, which is right here, it's literally just leather armor with thorns, which is nothing special. And, where is it? Oh, pumpkin armor. My brain just stopped there for a second. Pumpkin armor is... it's actually pretty good. Go for this stuff, really. I never realized this, but yeah, go for basically pumpkin armor, mushroom armor, or farm armor, whichever one you think works the best for you. Now, once you've kind of grown out of that in a way, you're going to want to, here, let me get this stuff back on. You're going to want to go over here, and you're going to slowly want to, start using the auction house for your stuff. Now, the first thing you're going to want is, of course, lapis armor. Now, there is no lapis armor in the auction house right now, so I'm going to just show you my own, which should be right there. Yeah, lapis armor. I don't have the full set right now because I think I lost mine, but that is beside the point. This stuff is amazing early game. You can get it from killing the lapis zombies in the deep caverns, and it will carry you. Honestly, mine carried me up until I got to the dungeons, pretty much. Now, you can enchant this stuff. It can become honestly really good, and that full set bonus is very helpful. Now, this is not to say that this is the best early game mining set. Over time, you are going to want to, once you get the money, switch over to a glaciite set, which is right here. And you will see that this stuff is wildly better. It gives you a ton of speed, ton of true defense, which is very helpful. Mining speed, tons of defense. This stuff's insane. And honestly, it's not that expensive. 30k per piece, roughly, and this stuff, honestly, could basically carry you through early dungeons, and I don't like that. No one likes a server reboot, that's not fun. Okay, I'm back at my island for this part, but what I was saying, or was going to say, I'm of course starting with the armor, and then I will get over to the weapon side of things in just a moment, because I think it's kind of easier to work with that than all at the same time, and then maybe I'll put some chapters in the video to kind of help you navigate it all. Anyway, the next thing that you're going to want to do, you'll have glaciite armor. Honestly, it depends on your combat level. Oh, that's fun. Give me 1 second. Okay, the server is back up and normal and good and all that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is, of course, depending on your combat level. Why is that still temporarily disabled? Anyway, if you've got a combat level of, if I recall correctly, 16, then you can get this good old dragon armor here. Now, in the auction house, which we're going to go to right now, as a confirmation, let's look up dragon, and now you're gonna see a lot of this old dragon stuff and all this, or young dragon I mean. Now, unstable, honestly, in my opinion, it's kind of bad. I mean, sometimes strikes nearby mobs with lightning. How helpful is that really? Nothing against it. If you prefer it, then go for it, but I definitely don't see as much use to it. Anyway, you've also got the young dragon stuff, which will make you go a lot faster, and honestly is not nearly as tanky. Protector, another kind of tanky one, but not as good as old dragon. And basically, you're going to want to look through all these and find whichever one fits your playstyle the most. Like, for example, if you're a fan of healing, you can go with holy. If you're a fan of useless abilities, go with unstable. If you're a fan of extra defense when you're missing HP, which is not a great time to have it, go with Protector. My personal choice is the good old, where is it? Old Dragon, if it's anywhere here. I can't find it. But yeah, the old dragon stuff, I will just show you here, is incredible. This stuff is super tanky. They did up the requirements, so you have to be Catacombs level 15 to use it in a dungeon, which I will get to in a moment, but this stuff will increase the strength of your growth, protection, feather falling, all of the best stuff, which basically means you will become a literal tank, or as much as you can be in the early game. Now, as I was mentioning with the whole, if you want to use it in the dungeons, you'll need Catacombs 15, which is no small amount when you're starting out. Now, to get around that, you can of course just get in the dungeons with whatever else you've got that doesn't have a requirement, and then basically go at it until you get a set somewhat like this, which is still good. Not as good, of course, and I will gladly admit that, but this stuff will definitely be better than nothing. Especially since it is all technically dungeon stuff, so as you can see there with the health, that'll give you 134 health normally, or 140 if the pure reforge is working. And then in dungeons, to my understanding, that means it'll give you another 218 health in a dungeon, which really will help you a ton. Why is this man trading with me? Is he giving me a gift? Ah, I will accept this gift. This is very kind. Are they going to accept it, though? That is the question. Ah, 1,000 coins. Nice. I'll never say no to 1,000 coins. Gotta say thank you in chat. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, basically this stuff will help you a ton in early dungeons. Now, it's not going to be as good as my normal old dragon stuff would be. Before they upped the requirement for this, I could get to 3,000 or 4,000 health by the end of a dungeon, and I could just tank a lot of hits. It was super easy. But I can't really do that anymore. But I am working towards it. I believe I'm currently level 13.5 in Catacombs. Anyway, that's beside the point. Another set you're going to want to get that isn't really important for progression is the Ender armor. Now this stuff, I'm going to just be very, very blunt here. It's not good. But The thing is, if you set it all to Fierce, which is a very good reforge, you enchant it as much as you can, this stuff will all of this stuff will basically give you 2 times the stats when you're in the end. Now, that may not sound like a lot for the health and defense, but when you think about the crit chance and crit damage and strength, that means this is your first set for one-shotting zealots, pretty much, which is going to be the best way early game, or more so mid-game, for getting combat XP. Or money, I guess, to some people. I don't really know how yet. I've kind of still got to figure that one out. Anyway, that's beside the point. Those are your 2 kind of sets that won't really be your main set, but are good to have. You know, a dungeon set, and an end set for killing the zealots. Now that we've talked about that, you know, you've got your mining set, you've got your dungeon set, you've got all that. Now, we need to talk about your weapons. You know, how to go from this stuff that does, like, no damage, to this stuff that does, like, 20, or, like, 23 or so damage, or 23 or so thousand damage per hit. Sorry, my words get very mixed up after a while. Anyway, the first thing you're going to do is you're of course going to want that undead sword. That thing is your best friend for early game, as I've said. That thing will do a ton of damage to undead mobs, you know, put smite on it, you're going to be doing a ton. Now, you're going to want to over time come across the rogue sword. Once you go to the park, you'll find the hunter knife, which is very good for kind of just getting speed. I like to kind of hold it just because I once again use the old dragon armor, so I'm not overly fast anyway, but if I mix these 2 together, I can be pretty fast. Now, this is just 2 simple swords that you'll get for next to nothing. I mean, especially for the hunter knife, you get that one for free. Now, over time, you're going to, of course, keep, you know, here, I'll just show, for example, you're going to get some money here. Now, that's more money than you'll probably be getting, but that is, of course, the example. Now, in the auction house, you're of course going to want to go, and you're going to look for something called a silver... It's not here. Oh, it is here. Silver Fang. Now, this thing, I don't know why people sell them in such high amounts, but generally for only 1, you can find it for like 5 to 20k, which, after you've been bazaar flipping a ton, will not be overly much. And this thing will carry you for a while. It is a good early weapon once you enchant it and all that. Now, then after that, you'll notice that thing's damage is slowly it's not holding up anymore. And that's pretty much its whole point. It's not going to be great for a long time, but it'll be there. It'll help you. It'll be your bridge to the aspect of the end. Now, this thing will be good for you. This is your first weapon that should get close to one-shotting the crypt ghouls in the hub. And I'll even demonstrate that in just a moment. But if you look for this, let's go with aspect of, and yeah, aspect of the end, right here, 220k. Usually these things will go for more like 100 to 200, but I don't know, right now its lowest is 220. Anyway, this thing, as you can see, it doesn't seem like it does a ton more damage, but it definitely does once you enchant it and all that. And that ability to teleport is going to be super helpful. Now, as I said, I'm going to go over to the crypt area, and I will demonstrate real quick how this thing will do, you know, once you're kind of... Or I'm not even going to go to the crypt, I'm just going to hit one of these. But that does 5200 damage with a crit. Now, I've got high crit damage, and I will admit that. But that does not mean that this thing is any worse. You know, once you've got this, you'll be solid for a while. You'll be good, damage-wise. But once that starts to fall down, or kind of not do enough for you anymore, you're of course going to want something else. Now, the way that I went, I just used that thing until I bazaar flipped a ton, and I got about 2 million. And that's when I bought this thing, the max, or basically maxed aspect of the dragons. This thing did insane damage for me at the time. I believe it's got a combat level, or a combat requirement of like 18 or something, I forget for sure, but, you know, you should be there by this point. Worst comes to worst, once again, you can kill the crypt ghouls, you can kill zombies, you can start killing endermen too, which is really good. Just don't go for zealots yet, because they have 13,000 health, which is a lot. But you're gonna buy this thing, Aspect of the Drag. Oh, now there's a 125k one. Yeah, as I said, they go down in price by a lot. Anyway, you're gonna look for Aspect, or the Dragons. You know, you want to look up very specific things, but not very long things, because you never want to type for a long time. Now, the cheapest one right now is almost $1 million, which is a lot. But that is definitely better than paying, you know, I paid like 7 million for this Flower of Truth because it's basically maxed enchant-wise. And honestly, I kind of regret it. I wish I paid for a cheaper one for 4 million because it's not even maxed very well. But that's beside the point once again. You're going to want the Aspect of the Dragons because this thing has an amazing ability that does, as it says, 16,000 damage, which is a lot in the early game, and you'll be hitting for pretty much higher than that very soon into using it. And that's pretty much your early game. I mean, as I said, this old dragon stuff and the Aspect of the Dragons will go up until above the combat level that you need for dungeons, which is a pretty solid amount. I mean, dungeons is level 15. As I said, I'm pretty sure Old Dragon is level 16. You know, these are not low levels when you're in the beginning. And now, the Flower of Truth. This is something completely different. If you can afford this thing, get it. That's all I can really say, because once you start to level this thing up, enchant-wise and all that, you're going to be doing way more damage than with an Aspect of the Dragons. And it also has a way more useful ability in general. Because it goes between 3 different enemies, does way more damage per enemy, and it just is all around amazing. Now this thing, at its cheapest, you can generally find it for about 4 million. Let me just go check to confirm. And you're pretty much going to be just completely overpowered with this thing at this stage of the game. Let's go. Flower, or of Truth, because there's other flowers. I cannot type because I don't even know what I'm doing. Anyway, of Truth, the cheapest one right now, I don't know why I pressed that, is 4 million. Yeah. And as you can see, it's pretty good. I mean, it's got the dungeon-ness to it already, so this thing will be way better in the dungeon. And it's just, this thing's not going to fail you. If you can get this, honestly, just skip the Aspect of the Dragons. I love the Aspect of the Dragons, but that's my opinion on it. It'll be way better in the long run. Now, if you're a bow kind of person, you can kind of just work your way up, you know, go with the short bow, go with kind of what feels right, and then I suggest the the Venom's Touch through the Arachne Keeper's Silk and all that. I don't know how to kind of explain it, maybe I'll do another video on it. But basically you'll get, this Soul String, it's called, and then you can craft this thing. It's pretty expensive to craft, but it's definitely worth it. And over time, with the Slayer bosses over here, sorry, I know this is all over the place, but there's a lot of steps to progression. Okay, with this dude here, you can fight the Revenant Horror, and you will be able to get the Wand of Mending. It's originally called then Healing, then Atonement. Now, this thing definitely is helpful, because as you can see, it heals 90 health for 7 seconds. Now, you know, that's a pretty solid amount of health by the time it's done. So if you're ever, you know, struggling and need health, this thing is always good to keep in your inventory. Now, you're always going to want a grappling hook from the auction house. It's always good to have. It does that. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, you're of course going to want to progress, you know, get your various shovels, your axes, all that stuff. That is just basic, you know, information that's kind of needed. Anyway, that is about it, though. To my knowledge, I'm not even at this stage yet, but to my knowledge, a good stage to go to after Old Dragon is or for armor-wise, is the Shadow Assassin. Let me see. Yeah, Shadow Assassin. Cheapest it's gonna be, though, is really expensive. I mean, this stuff's good, but it's really expensive. It's not cheap. Now, you need to complete floor 5 of the dungeon just to wear this stuff, though, so it's later on than I am. I haven't even completed floor 4, I don't think, yet, just because I've been kind of taking my time with it, leveling up a bit, and I, you know, can't use this armor yet, so that's a bit of a pain. Anyway, that is pretty much it, as I was saying. If this video helped you at all, which hopefully it did, make sure to leave a like, comment, you know, how it helped you, any suggestions you have for it, and also what guide to do next time. Make sure to subscribe with the notification bell. We recently had a weird glitch happen with the subscribers, but to my knowledge it's all fixed now, so make sure to subscribe. Let's get up to 120, and then we're coming for 150, and then 1,000. That's a long way away, though. Anyway, once again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe with the notification bell. Check out all my various social medias and my Discord server. And as all, thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.